Okay, so I wanted to touch on the AEW shit with CM Punk and Tony Khan, Jack Perry, mostly because I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've always been a wrestling fan. I'll be a wrestling fan. That being said, I do not like AEW. I never did like AEW. There's a certain couple of wrestlers I do enjoy from AEW, but the promotion itself, the booking itself, I don't like it. I don't. I've never liked it from. That being said, Cody, Punk was right during his interview with Ariel Helwani, MMA Hour. He was right. He was absolutely right. And my problem with this entire thing is the only reason they did this is because to get views. That's all they did it for. I didn't watch it. I waited for it to be uploaded to YouTube, like a lot of other people just waited for it to be YouTube. Or Twitter. It was all over Twitter, and then all of a sudden, because Ariel Helwani did an edit where what CM Punk was saying with what the video was showing at the same time. And that's ultimately, like, everything was getting struck down. All the videos on Twitter are getting struck down. I don't know what YouTube's copyright system is doing, if they're getting struck down or not, but I know a bunch of posts on Twitter were getting struck down because of it. Because of Tony Khan having the dick size of fucking a small peanut because he can't take criticism. He never was able to take criticism. He never will be able to take criticism because he's nothing but a giant pussy. Alright? And that's my line. That's the line I draw with AEW. Is, I'm sure Tony Khan's a nice guy. That's what Punk said. So I'm sure it's true. But I for the life of me cannot be behind a guy who doesn't even act like a boss. I know the people who are copyright striking the videos on Twitter, probably the HR department. That's how it always is going to be. HR is ultimately going to take control of what's put on social media for the most part. And this is the biggest fuck you is literally it was announced during WrestleMania weekend. Like, for God's sakes. Like, I like other promotions. I don't like just WWE. I like TNA. I like New Japan. I like All Japan Pro Wrestling. But AEW is just bad. And when that shit came out, I was like, it was literally at that point where I was like, well, this is the death of AEW finally. And hope to God it's true, because I can't stand people who gatekeep, and that's literally what everyone did for AEW. It was like, oh, gatekeeping being like AEW is like the best thing in the world. At the time, it was good, because at the time, WWE, when AEW first came out, was dog shit. Like, WWE was terrible, and it proved itself. And then when Roman Reigns became this gigantic champion and went on that fucking 3.5-year run, well, what happened? AEW just started taking a massive nosedive ever since then. And you can't tell me that the reason why WWE was so bad for those, like, prior to Roman Reigns was because Vince McMahon was just eating so much ass. Let's be honest. I don't know. If it could be just me, but I think after the whole shit with Vince came out, I'm sure there was a lot of other shit that came out. John Laurinaitis stepped down, I'm pretty sure, while that was happening. And then up to, I think, last year, that I can't remember the fucking Bucktooth guy. I can't remember his fucking name. But he was in control of the production team. Now that he's gone, another dude's taken over the production team, and you can tell that it's definitely a lot better as a product compared to AEW. And if you like AEW, that's fair. I won't say anything negative about said person. I just would, I would definitely, how should I put this? I would definitely question if you're sane or not. That's for sure. But I don't like Moxley. I don't like Adam Cole. I liked MJF, and that was literally it. It was literally MJF, and that was it. That's the only reason why I watched AEW was MJF. And that dude is gone. And if he even decides to come back, I have no clue if he's going to come back or not. But he might just retire, which he's got money. Let's be honest. If he decides to leave AEW, go to any other fucking promotion at this point, I think he'd be better off. Because they literally worked him like WWE worked Seth Rollins, but I feel like they worked him a lot worse. Because at least Seth Rollins had months off between the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania to heal the knee. But yeah, no. It was fucking bad. Just that entire clip. The shitty part is when your own fucking audience is chanting the dude's name. Like, if you see like the clips from the audience, they're chanting CM Punk. I'm like, bro, you know your company is in the shitter when they're literally chanting the other dude's name who's in the other promotion. That's not a good look for AEW. And honestly, they should just kept it alone. They really should just kept it alone. You know, Punk said his whatever he was doing. He was being interviewed. That was it. He answered questions like he should be. But yeah, no. I think AEW should fucking shit. It's always been my gripe with AEW. Is they don't like they get ex-WWE stars like a Matt Hardy, like a Jeff Hardy, like an Edge, like a bunch of other guys. Christian is the only exception where I would say that he was treated kind of right in AEW. I say kind of because he could pretty much do what he wanted to do. And, no. That's literally the entire, all I wanted to talk about was what happened at AEW today. And how dog shit that entire thing was. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, because I'm like fucking 2 o'clock in the morning on my mind for like the last 3 hours. Yeah, 3 or 4 hours. I hope you all enjoyed. Take care.